Hello, everyone. Mike Lowe here, simsportsgaming.com, a website that will link you up with different leagues and different, really just franchise opportunities. It's kind of a franchise-specific website, and that's who's hosting this stream here this whole season. So again, simsportsgaming.com. Best place to gather there is on our Discord, which you can find a link for at that homepage. And you can get yourself connected with all kinds of different leagues, including MLB The Show, online franchise, once those are activated again, Madden, even some tech sim games like Out of the Park Baseball, Front Office Football, Draft Day Sport games from Wolverine Studios, and so on. So check that out. Super, super good stuff there. And yeah, thanks for tuning in. We are continuing this franchise. It's actually a restart. So if you watched episode 1, I was using Ryden's 1.0 rosters. There were some updates that I noticed were probably worth just replaying one quick game, which I've done. And luckily, it turned out a little bit better. I'll be doing kind of a recap of those games here before we start and just kind of laying out how these streams are going to really look moving forward. So hopefully the audio is okay and everything. I see Adrian Hoosier's here and a handful of others so far. So again, thanks for tuning in. Give me a follow on Twitter. It's been the best way to get notified of these. At MikeLowe47. You can subscribe to the Sim Sports Gaming YouTube as well. That would be great. That's a new page there, so we're trying to build up our subscription list there to make it for an easier link for everyone. Let's see, where do we want to start? There's a handful of places that we can go. I do want to do, as I mentioned, a season recap. But there was something I wanted to do before that, and I'm just forgetting what it is now, but I'm sure I'll remember and come back to it. So again, I did restart this season. I know what it was. I want to just talk about the general flow of this episode. Eventually, of course, the bulk of this recording is going to be a gameplay, and I'm not trying to do 90% of the conversation stuff before the gameplay. And then at the end of the game, it'll mostly be maybe following up on a few questions, going over the post-game analysis. So if there are questions about whether it's this slider set, MLB The Show in general, even this baseball in general, if we want to chat in the beginning, I feel that's going to probably be best so that people don't have to search through an hour-long game or whatever to find those conversations and whatnot. So again, if you do have questions like that, fire away. Of course, if you do have questions during the game, that's fine. I may get to them. I may not. I do have the commentary turned back on, and I don't really like talking over the commentary. I know one of the big requests that I keep seeing floating around on Twitter is setting up 30 team control. Really, the simplest way to explain it, guys, is this. And it's when you start a franchise, you'll get a screen that's similar to this. And basically, you need to make two different profiles, right? You make two team profiles. You can see one here I just called CPU, and one I called MLB. And the way I did this is when you create your first one on this particular screen, I think you can actually, so right here, right? When you make one, you can see up here I'm switching between MLB, CPU. I made one. All right, when you hit create new, it'll have you save one. And then all you have to do is you can create a new one, and then when you create a new one, it'll say, oh, do you want to base this off the current one? Just say yes, because then it'll keep everything you've already set here. So like all of this stuff will copy over. So my MLB and CPU ones are exactly the same, except for my user team, this is all manual, and my CPU teams, this is all auto, right? And that's the only difference. I use this one as my default, my user one, and it's as simple as that. Again, you can always double check this, but when you create a franchise, that's where this will go. So you'll put these just like this, make sure the team that you're using is on your user profile, and that's it, simple as that. Let's take a look at the game recap. We've had 2 one-run games so far, and we've had a couple of really kind of fun performances so far from a couple Tigers. If we look at the top here, you can see this game was scoreless until the top of the 5th inning, when I believe on a 3-2 count, Jamer Candelario hit a solo home run to give the Tigers a 1-0 lead. Eventually, in the bottom of the 6th inning, Cleveland came back and scored a run. I don't exactly recall how they did that. Let's see if we can see it. It was a home run. Yeah, this game had 3 solo shots. Perez, their catcher, Perez hit a home run. And then in the top of the 8th inning, and again on a 3-2 count, Jonathan Schoop hit the what ended up being the game-winning home run. Tigers were a little sloppy in the field. I've read that some people aren't seeing enough errors. I definitely am. So again, I think we take those averages, the people who aren't seeing them and people who are seeing them. That tells me right there that we're at a pretty good range for errors. But we had 2, and they almost cost us. Cleveland's did not. Yeah, I believe all the runs were earned since they were home runs. Obviously, yeah, they would have been. But it could have been a lot worse. The Tigers left a lot of guys on base. We had 7 men left on base here. I'm sorry, That's strikeouts. It doesn't tell you on this screen, but we had a lot, like double digits for sure. Um, and we did okay. Our bullpen pitched really, really well. If we go down and take a look here, you can see Matthew Boyd, nothing too crazy. 6 innings, just 2 strikeouts, but 3 walks. And you can see though, Alex Wilson pitches an inning with a K. Newly acquired Xavier Cedeno, goes an inning with a strikeout. And check out Arodys Vizcaino getting his first save as a Tiger, striking out the side with a man on base. I believe that man was on second base too. Ends up striking out the side and getting a really dramatic first save. It was really cool. It's one of those wins where I was kind of pumping my fist at the end there. So very, very cool. Cleveland again. Bieber's tough. He's a really good pitcher, and we were able to have him throw a lot of pitches. Got him out of the game a little earlier than they may have wanted to. And Cleveland's bullpen didn't pitch terrible, but they did end up taking the loss there, as you can see. So that was the first game. There, of course, was an off day in between there. MLB teams do that for rainouts and things like that. And this game, again, another really good game. Tigers went up to 2-0 in the first inning. Cleveland tied it. So it's 2-2 in the fourth. And then the top of the ninth, Tigers take the lead 4-2. Cleveland gets one in the bottom of the ninth, but the Tigers hold on. And again, a little bit of sloppy play early, this time by Cleveland, who committed 2 errors. And we can take a look here. Really, the story of this game, Reyes, and I'm forgetting his name now. I'm a Tiger fan. I should know this. He was the Rule 5 draft pick. Totally drawing a blank on his first name. Victor Reyes, that's right. So many Reyes in baseball here. So Victor Reyes, 4-hit game. I'll pull this back up so we can see the box score. But a 4-hit game for him. Drove in 2. And again, just a really, really clutch game for him. You can see the middle of the lineup not really doing a whole lot. Demerit was a defensive sub. Cabrera goes 0 for 3. He's hit less on the season so far. He's had some really good at-bats, but swinging at ball fours a couple times. Maybe getting a little bit too aggressive there with Miggy. You can see, again, just luckily just doing enough to win, because, again, the hits haven't been rolling out as you'd expect with a pretty bad team. But here's what I like to see. I know a lot of people are saying, oh, and even in that first game, all it was home runs. You had 3 solo home runs. Well, this game, it was very, very different. We had 3 doubles. We scored 4 runs. None of them were by home run. So, again, 3 doubles there. We did hit into a couple double plays. There was a hit by pitch. And Reyes, not only with his 4 hits, but also had a stolen base in the top of the ninth, which I believe helped him score one of the runs there. So, a really, really clutch play there. Cleveland, again, just kind of spreading out their hits. They had 10 hits, and they had 4 walks, but luckily we were able to limit that damage. They had a ton of doubles. Look at that. 5 doubles for Cleveland. Again, no home runs. So these games do happen. You can see there are 2 errors there. Also a stolen base. What I love about the stolen base slider being bumped this year is if you're not pitching from the stretch, they're going to steal on you, and they're going to be successful. So it's a big risk, right? Sometimes I don't want to pitch from the stretch because it impacts my your pitcher's ability. It impacts his location, things like that, his effectiveness. But boy, you got to be really picking your spots to brave that. Michael Fulmer got the start here, his first start in almost 2 years, right? So 6 innings. Again, not huge strikeouts from our starters, but our bullpen's doing a nice job with that. 6 innings pitched, 3 strikeouts. Cedeno comes in again. This time he walks somebody. Joe Jimenez comes in. Vizcaino came in for the save again, but actually got hurt. He is day-to-day for a few days here. But he got the first 2 outs, again, by strikeout. So he's gotten 5 outs this season. They've all been strikeouts. That's pretty impressive. He did give up that run in the ninth. Alex Wilson came in and gave up 2 hits. You can see that ninth inning was very dramatic. If you're a real-life Tiger fan, you're probably used to seeing that when the team used to be good. Very dramatic ninth innings. But Alex Wilson did get the final out, and I think it was against Francisco Lindor. So it was a very dramatic time. I was very happy to get away with that victory. We did walk 4 batters. You can see walks are happening, and we still struck out 7 even with our starter. And Fulmer doesn't have big strikeout ratings. He doesn't have a K rating that's very high. It's like 52. So he's going to be more of a contact guy. Guys, when you have pitchers in the game who are not big strikeout guys, make sure you have your best defense playing, right? This is not the time you put in your 6'4" behemoth third baseman who can't field, but he hits home runs. You want that real agile fielder. Just try to win that game, 3-2, 3-1, something like that. You don't want to try to outslug the AI on these sliders, especially with bad fielders. So again, just a little tidbit there. But Mike Clevenger pitched well for them. Again, nothing great, but did okay. And then we're starting to see kind of the AI leaving their guys in too long. So it's something I want to start to take a look at, possibly bumping up that manager hook. I might try it this game when they go to the bullpen, kick that back to 8, which is what we do for sim games anyway. I've been leaving it at 5, but I don't like seeing they're leaving guys in a little bit too long here. Now, Plutko has really good endurance. He's basically a starting pitcher. So, but in a close game like that, I would like to see a little bit more switching. If it was a blowout, I wouldn't be too worried about it. So that's how the Tigers currently stand at 2-0 after beating a really good Cleveland team. Are we expecting this momentum to continue? No, we're not a very good team. But again, the acquisitions we made in the bullpen have really helped. Speaking of acquisitions in the bullpen, we actually did add a guy off of waivers. We picked up Daniel Bard. And I ended up sending down, what is his name here? I sent down, where's he at? We had in our bullpen Zach Godley. And he's more of a starter guy, I think. You can see over the last few years, he's kind of splitting his time, but he hasn't really performed all that well. I figured I'd rather have him get some action, maybe starting down in AAA. So we bumped him, sent him down, and we picked up Daniel Bard. And look at that K per 9. Now, again, this is not a guy I want to have in really pitching like a full inning. So he'll be a guy where it's like there's 2 outs in an inning and there's men on base. We're going to bring him in and just try to gas somebody to get that 3rd out, because then I can take him out of the game. He does not have to face 3 batters if he finishes an inning. And so I think he could be kind of a fun little specialist for us. Again, especially if we're in a game where we're down 4-3, something like that. We really can't let that lead grow. So anyway, Daniel Bard was picked up on waivers, I believe, from Colorado, who had waived him, and he is joining the team for the first time today. So pretty cool. I'm reading a couple comments here. Adrian says he's in about 10 games in. He's had 6 errors. So again, that's really low, Adrian. If that seems high, you got to think most games, something like the average is like 0.8 errors per team per game. So you're actually too low potentially. Yeah, Penson right field is a nightmare. I don't know if that's good or bad. I've been bumping up to 8 the whole season and have had no issues with computer leaving in relief pitchers. Okay. Yep. Yeah, then I'll try that. I'll try 8 because that's what we used before, and I just wanted to see if the game, especially at after the last patch, if anything had changed. But so again, this guy, something we have to work on this game. He is hurt. I don't want to even pitch a guy when he's day to day. It's just not really the risk. He's also pitched 2 days in a row with an off day in between. So again, we'll be okay, but again, we'll have to kind of think about how we want to manage the bullpen. Spencer Turnbull is who's going for us in Game 3. If we take a look, again, it's not the greatest stamina. He can strike some guys out. He should be able to keep the ball in the ballpark. He's got really nice velocity. If you look at his numbers last year, he did start 30 games for the Tigers, 148 innings. He had an ERA of 4.61, but again, more importantly, his fielding independent ERA 3.56. So again, the Tigers just had some bad defense last year, and that impacted Spencer Turnbull, who should have had an even better season. This is component ERA. It's a little bit similar. It's easier if you just Google the difference between ERA and component ERA, but this is probably a little bit truer measure. This is what Bill James, who's kind of like the godfather of sabermetrics, this is his kind of version of earned run average as component ERA, it's called. But I like to look at fielding independent ERA as well. And again, that's a really nice number to see out of a starter who's pitched 30 games, especially at 27 years old. And K to walk ratio is at least 2-1. That's not too bad. Almost 3 WAR. So he quietly had a really nice season on a really bad team. Look at this. He lost 17 games, but this is why you can't look at win-loss records in baseball. They don't mean anything unless you're talking about the team's win-loss record. Then they mean everything, unfortunately. Okay, I think it's time to jump into the game. I'm just seeing if there's anything else I wanted to share. I needed to load in sounds of the show. I've had a few recommendations come in. I just have not had time to tinker with that yet. I'm also worried about YouTube possibly taking down the streams if they hear like licensed music in the background and things like that. So I'm not exactly sure how that's going to work. But so we talked about 30 team control. Of course, the sliders, those are up. Those are up on Operation Sports, right? You can check those out. Last I checked, let's go look right now, actually. We were the #1 slider set in the world again, which is super cool. So if I sort by downloads, #1 and #2. So 89%. Give me some upvotes. That's way too low. 89. I'm really happy with this slider set. I'm usually pretty critical of mine. This is by far my favorite set I've come up with. And again, a lot of that's just that I think the game's made some really nice subtle improvements. So that's pretty good. So again, we got a couple here with just a few downloads, 100%. But the first, I guess, one with multiple downloads, 89%, pretty awesome. And second, so that's really, really cool. So I super appreciate it. But give us an upvote there if you haven't already. That would be super, super cool. And again, the whole idea, it just helps people enjoy the game a little bit more. And the more that we can all talk and share these thoughts on Twitter or share these thoughts on Operation Sports Forum, things like that, the better off we can be. So we're facing Carlos Carrasco. Let's take a look at him. The pitcher starting to decline a little bit in his age. You can see those down arrows there. 33 years old, out of Venezuela. If we look at his season last year, he only pitched 80 innings, so he was hurt part of last year. 6-7, 5.29 ERA. Again, not very good numbers here. Horrendous home runs per 9. So that's something I'll look at and say, well, maybe we want to put in some guys who can hit the ball out of the park a little bit today. Really nice 5-to-1 K to walk ratio. That's really darn good. So, and you can see that home runs per 9 number is representative there. So, something to keep an eye on. Performs well during the day. This very well may be a day game. Most of these early season games are just for a little bit warmer weather. So again, we'll take a look and consider. Oh yeah, and this is a Sunday game, so it's definitely a day game. We'll consider putting in some boppers. But let's do this first. Of course, we have to simulate. I didn't do this ahead of time because I wanted to show you. Sorry, I just go through and I simulate all of these different games with the sliders at default, or not default, but at the 1.0, right? The settings for 1.0. Just go through. I don't even look at the scores. That way there's still a surprise. I just rip through these, simulate it. Everything but your game, of course. Leave that one. And so far, there have been no complete games. So as I go through here and I look, same thing, right? No complete games. So that's all we're looking for. You can have some. Again, you want to try to keep that total number for the whole season at about 50 between the two leagues total. So that's less than, I mean, that's about 5 per month, right? Or I'm sorry, that's less than 10 per month. So again, just something to keep in mind there. So anyway, let's jump into the next game. I'm going to set the lineup here. Hey, what's up, Blake? More errors in the outfield. Yeah, I think that's the one I kicked up, right? I think that's the one slider. There actually is a slider for each one, Blake. There is like outfield error, infield error, and then outfield throwing, and so there's like 4 error sliders, aren't there? Okay, yeah, and Adrian's got a suggestion there. Yeah, and that's the whole idea. Like this is not scripture. This is not a creed that you must follow exactly. I don't care if you use my sliders as a base and kind of play off of that. The whole idea is just to help people out with these. I don't make any money off of this. This is just for fun. I don't care. Do what you want. I'm not a streamer for anything other than just to have fun and just chat baseball. So. Again, I also like to just check out, see how my bullpen's doing. Everyone's in pretty good shape. Unfortunately, we're probably not going to have Cedeno for more than like an out. This Cayeno is also hurt, as I mentioned. So his durability must be pretty low. Yeah, 66. With an off day there, he's still a little bit tired. Well, he could pitch if need be. So we really, really got to be careful. I talked about getting some boppers in the lineup. Before I do that, I just want to check and see if we have our like road warriors and kind of our daytime players, whatever it's called, make sure those guys are in the lineup. So like Harold Castro is a guy we could start. The problem is he's just such a bad defender. He can play really anywhere, but I've liked using him more as a pinch hitter with that contact and clutch rating, kind of bring him in when need be. And that day player quirk will still apply. So yeah, I don't think there's anybody else I need to bring in here. Do we want to give... I think I'm going to give our backup catcher a start here, though. Let's get Jake Rogers in. Demerit's been a defensive sub. He doesn't really have much power. Definitely not taking Stewart out today. Reyes has been hot. So yeah, Demerit's not going to play. Romine's going to sit. He's going to sit. Jordy Mercer, again, just more of a defensive sub. Not even a defensive sub, but just a guy, bench player, more or less. 33 years old. I'd rather let the other guys develop. So I think we are set to go. Jumping into gameplay. Yeah, that's what Blake's saying. That's exactly the same idea. So anyway, as I said, I probably won't chat a lot during the game just because it's super annoying when there's commentary. If I do, I'll try and pause. But stick around at the end if you want to ask questions. We'll look at the post-game stuff too.
MLB The Show's coverage of Major League Baseball is on the air. Coming up, we've got a good matchup in store between the Detroit Tigers and the Cleveland Indians. It's Indians baseball, and it comes your way next. Carlos Carrasco will do the pitching in Game 3 of the series. Dan Plesac, what do you got?
Hey, it's hard to have all 4 of your pitches on, but I think if this guy can have 2 or 3 of his 4 pitches and have command of them, he's going to have a really good game.
Now in the box, Victor Reyes, and we are ready for some daytime baseball.
With that, of course, we will go in and adjust a couple sliders. That's it. I always like to just triple check that my injury slider is set right and trade frequency.
For Detroit, the center field.
Checking out his repertoire as well. A couple fastballs. Really just that changeup's the only real true breaking pitch.
And now we'll take a moment here at home plate as he asks for time.
He's a day player, so he'll be tough. Looking for bunting opportunities, but nothing here.
First delivery to him on the way. Underway now in the Sunday finale as the first pitch today is taken for strike 1. So, fellas, this Indians ball club, as they begin play here this afternoon, they come in a real funk to start the year. Still searching for what's been an elusive first win.
Yeah, Matty, they lost their last game. It was only by 1 run. They should be able, those are the tough ones, but they should be able to put this one behind them.
1 ball, 1 strike to count. He's set. Here comes the 1-1.
Oh, that's out.
Just looking for a pitch over the middle here. I'm also looking for mistakes. Or I'm looking in one spot until I have to swing. Kind of the Ted Williams approach.
This is pulled into right.
Okay, stay hot.
And that'll get by and on through towards the wall. And the Tigers are in business right away. It's a leadoff double.
No doubt about it. He was looking fastball all the way there, and that's exactly what he got. Got the barrel out front and just blasted it down the line for an extra base hit. Nobody out.
That comes from power being knocked down, also solid hits. You can see that ball was kind of slow, right? But it looked very realistic. Not everything's a laser, especially up the lines. It's just kind of floating out there.
Up next steps Kristen Stewart, pulled toward right center field. Right fielder is on the run. He makes the catch, and the runner from second will tag and head for third. And he'll make it up to third safely here with 1 away. So a moment now to take a look at the starting lineup for the visiting Detroit Tigers. Dero, what's the word on this lineup as they go for the series sweep?
Well, Matty, you look at this lineup, the key to success is scoring early. Putting the other team on their heels and allowing their own pitcher to go out there and feel like he can execute his game plan and attack and stay in the zone. This offense needs to get on the board.
And that'll bring up the veteran Miguel Cabrera, reined in. Only play is going to be at first, so that'll go as an RBI that brings home the opening marker of the ball game.
That's good hitting right there. Put the ball in play and let the guy trot home from third to put your team on the board. Good baseball.
Here's Jonathan Scope now. He was 1 for 4 with a 2-bagger in yesterday's game.
He's trying to go sacrifice fly there, but that got the job done. I'll take it. Breaking ball hitter here, so I'm looking a little lower in the zone.
First delivery to him on the way. Swing and a miss, 0-1. Time for a look at our umpires in this one. Behind the plate is Patrick Johnson.
Yeah, Dan, we got Patrick Johnson behind the dish tonight. Fairly standard strike zone most of the time, but he's definitely a pitcher's umpire.
I always felt like this. He'll give a little bit on the corners, both inside and outside. I think he's a fair umpire, but I would rate.
And we'll have to leave it there as the play is made here to
Quick inning,
end
but
the
had
inning.
some real nice
So
swings.
it's 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and no one left. We'll move on to the bottom half of inning number 1. It's the Tigers 1 and the Indians nothing.
Oh, Carlos, I don't see that.
Spencer Turnbull gets the starting nod for the Tigers in this one. What do you have for us
Make sure
on
you
him,
have good
Danny?
defenders.
Hey, it's hard to have all 4
It
of your
matters a
pitches
lot.
on.
I
And
prioritize
think if
defense
this
over
guy
hitting
can have
almost
2
every
or 3
time.
of his 4 pitches and have command of them, he's going to
Helps
have
with
a
your pitching.
really good game.
Stepping in, Jose Ramirez. He'll lead things off here in the bottom half of the
Leading up
first.
For the Indians, the third baseman, Jose.
Infield in the overshift here. Now the pitch.
1-1. 1-1, no strike.
So, fellas, these Tigers, as they begin play here today, come in feeling good as they're 2-0 to start the new year.
Yeah, Matty, without question. They find themselves in this position today. They got a chance to sweep the series on Sunday and make it a miraculous weekend.
Boy, Dero, it's always a nice way to finish off a weekend. You win a big game on Saturday, and to close it off with a win here and a sweep on Sunday would really be sweet for this ball club.
And now a curveball that's low and in the dirt for a ball. It's 2-1.
Ooh,
Even
gonna
count,
chase
2
that.
balls and 2 strikes.
Don't see that on default, right?
Ready on 2 balls and 2 strikes. Here it comes. And he fouls this one off. And that one never threatened the zone. It's gone full now to 3-2.
Boy, not what you want coming out of the gate as a pitcher, right? You don't want to have to show all of your pitches this early on in the game, but that's a quality at bat. And what does it make you do as a pitcher? You have to use a lot of your pitches, and the more pitches a hitter sees, the better chance they have to make good contact.
Under it is Maben now as he pulls it in for the first out.
The second baseman, Cesar.
So, Carlos, you could just use
In
manual
now for
throwing
Cleveland,
without
Cesar
fielding.
Hernandez. Swinging it well so far in this series. He's 3 for 9.
Not a lot of power, so don't be afraid to pitch up to these guys.
He's ready. Here's the first offering. And he'll look at a fastball that doesn't miss by a whole lot. It's 1-0. That evens it up 1-1. 1 out, nobody on. Grounded down the third baseline, but a foul ball. 1-2 the count now. And the pitch. A bouncer up the middle. Taken in by Scope. And the off-balance throw beats him at first, and that's a tough play.
Batting third, the shortstop, Francisco
That's a tough play.
Lindor.
Stepping up now, Francisco Lindor. He'll get
Carlos,
to
they
take
might,
his
yeah,
first
they might
cuts
factor
here.
that in.
Now here's the pitch. And he gets ahead
great
here with the
pitch.
fastball. Strike 1.
Hey, they say solos won't kill us, but I got to believe this guy's looking to do exactly that.
Want this ball outside.
Ball 1.
Don't be afraid just to throw balls.
And it's fouled away.
It will help with things like hit and runs. If you're throwing too many strikes,
2
that's
out,
when
nobody on.
they hit and run on you all the time.
Look out. That one almost got away from him. 2-2 now.
That's where
Most
I wanted
good
that
pitchers
pitch.
know that they have to work inside and sometimes even come off the plate to keep hitters from getting comfortable up there. I think that was part of the intent with that last pitch.
Damn,
Fouled
that's not
off.
where I wanted that one. Though.
Yeah, you could tell he was ready for another fastball, but the pitcher went to breaking ball, and the hitter just fouls that one off.
And this will miss down low in the dirt, so he's worked it full now at 3-2.
That pitch was way down on 2-2, but give the hitter some credit there. Sometimes with 2 strikes, you're more apt to expand the strike zone, but he didn't and held off on that one that wasn't even close.
He's got that fighter quirk there, so he's tough to strike out. See if I can paint the corner. Nope.
Oh, and he lets him off the hook there, as this isn't even close for ball 4.
Well, the reason power hitters generally draw more walks than other guys is exactly what we saw right there.
Another power
Pitchers
hitter,
work
first
around
pitch
them and nibble
swinger
the
as well.
corners a lot more so they don't get
Try to
burned.
make him
He made some good
chase
pitches,
after
but he
something
just
here.
couldn't get him to chase enough out of the zone.
From the belt, the pitch.
Even better.
Drops in a strike to start the at-bat. 0-1.
This is where you got to take stock in the situation. Adjust your batting gloves and realize you need a gapper to score this guy from first. If nothing less, pass the baton to the guy behind you and keep the line
Might
moving.
start going on the stretch here.
Hit hard on the ground to second. And as it turns out, the 2-out walk doesn't come around to haunt him, as that ends the inning. So no runs here, no base hits, no errors, and 1 man left on. We'll go on to the top of inning number 2. It's the Tigers 1 and the Indians nothing.
Could the Tigers really sweep this series on the road?
Here's C.J. Cron now, and he'll face Carlos Carrasco to get the inning underway.
C.J. Cron.
You know, without the free agent signings, I signed 2 bullpen guys, picked another one up on waivers. That's really been the difference. So this is still a bad Tigers team, but just real subtle changes, nothing crazy.
Comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. Swing and a miss that time. It's 0-1. Here it comes.
1-1. Nope, that's off the plate. Ball 2.
Pulls this one in the air out to left. Nick Wooden's under it, and he
Just
hauls
missed
it
the
in
double.
for the first out of the inning.
Batting fifth, the right fielder, number 4, Cameron Maybin.
Into the box now, Cameron Maybin, as he'll get his first opportunity in this one. Now the pitch.
Well, they got to him in the first inning, which is huge, but he looks a lot more settled into this ball game right now. He's not the kind of pitcher you want to let get into a groove out there.
On its way, the 0-1 pitch. And this catches the zone as well. It's 0-2 now.
I get it. He wants to see this guy's repertoire, but now he's behind in the count. Puts himself in a tough spot to hit.
Now a swing and a miss. He struck him out, and it's 2 up, 2 down to start the second.
It's so hard to hit when you're behind the count 0-2, right? You have to protect for the fastball. You have to look for the soft stuff down and away. You're really at a disadvantage when you fall behind 0-2.
And he'll step out and ask for time. Maybe trying to get this
pitcher
pitcher out of the rhythm he's in right now.
Only 15 pitches so far.
Into the box now, Jake Rogers. As the first pitch here's a bit high, it's ball 1. He'll work on keeping this top of the second alive. Just off the outside that time, laid off for a ball. Now the 2-0. Now a pitch swung on and hit to the left side, but this is going to find the seats, a foul ball. Now the 2-1 is swung on and missed, and that's strike 2. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Hit hard to short, right to him. Throw in time, and the side
I like that they show
retired.
that swing feedback now.
Down in order go the Tigers.
During the play.
And after an inning and a half, it's 1-0.
Because on your third out, you would never really see it. And they'd show it when the AI was up. But you'd never see it like in Diamond Dynasty.
And next will be the versatile Tyler Naquin. He's set to lead off the home half of the second.
Tyler Naquin.
First offering on its way. Left side, but well foul. And he misses with it, 1-1. Now a good take here as he misses for a ball, and it's 2-1 now to the Cleveland left fielder. Here's a big swing and a miss on the fastball, 2-2.
That's just too much velocity upstairs to get good wood on it. It's going to have to lower his sights.
Oh, well, never mind. I was going to say, look at the size of that PCI, but that's pretty huge.
He's ready with the 2-2 pitch. Breaking ball called just a bit low.
He walked the guy back in the first, and now he's looking like he might hand out another free pass to the leadoff guy here. You can't be walking a guy an inning and think you're going to have any success.
And he takes ball 4. Leadoff man's aboard here to begin the home half of the second.
Well, there's only a one-run cushion to play with, so he's got to be upset after he walked the leadoff man here. Go-ahead run comes to the plate, and there are no outs. This could be a very interesting inning.
Striding into the box, Carlos Santana. From the stretch, here's the pitch. And oh, look out as he has to hop out of the way of the fastball there.
Perfect time for a mound visit right here. Just give him a breather, a chance to collect himself and get back to work.
Fastball, and that thing's a blur up there, folks. 1-1. Naquin aboard here at first with nobody out. And a half-hearted attempt that time as he broke the plane of the plate. It's a ball and 2 strikes now. Now a fastball awfully close, but he doesn't get the call. It's 2-2 now. On the ground to the right side.
Oh, look at that.
And that will be a base hit here for Santana. And that runner will go no further than second as there are 2 aboard now.
Well, that's one of the, I guess, the advantages of hitting with that hole between first and second base, D-Row. First baseman has to hold that runner on. That leaves that right side wide open.
Yeah, and credit the batter right there. Nice piece of hitting right there. Not trying to do too much. He took a look at the defense and saw where it was aligned and tried to beat him.
So now to the plate, Domingo Santana. Stewart is there, and he'll bring this one in.
All right, guys, here's a defensive alignment for the Detroit Tigers. Hey, let's focus on Cameron Maybin in the outfield. One of the more dynamic outfielders in our sport. He's able to cover a ton of ground, gap to gap. I almost feel like he's playing left center to right center. He's not playing center field. He's got it all covered, bailing the other guys out, and not shabby with the offensive tool either.
And there's a fastball well off the plate inside. A swing and a ground ball to third. Oh, Oh, just a brutal hop, and it goes right by him. He pulls into second safely as a run comes across to score on the play, tying the ball game.
Just a great at-bat there.
They called that a double.
Gets a run across, and now they've got runners at second.
Now that is the
third,
right call if there was like
solid
something on the
swing
field that hit.
making this a real big inning.
That's interesting. Again, you can only call an error on a play that's considered routine. Certainly looked routine, but again, it depends if it hit something. I mean, it took a bounce, but like nothing crazy, right? But his body's right in front of you. Played it well. Just came up right off his shoulder. Yeah, I don't know. I guess you could call that a double. Second and third, one out.
Standing in now, Roberto Perez.
Would be nice
He'll
here.
look at a fastball in there on the outer half. It's 0-1. Now a breaking ball, but it's low. A 1-2 count to the Indians catcher. And it's 2 balls and 2 strikes now. And he gets under this one as the ball is skied into very shallow right. Scope will look this one in, and there are 2 away now.
Great scoring opportunity miss right there. You talk about frustration, popping it up.
Still can't strike anybody out with my starting pitchers, though. It's really weird.
Like to get that one back.
Bullpen, no problem.
Stepping in and ready for another shot, Jose Ramirez. 0 for 1 here in the early going. First pitch coming. Here it is. And this is taken outside for ball 1. Second and third, 2 away. Ball 2.
That's a good take on a fastball out of the zone. Hey, I get it. He's looking for a ball to drive, but that ball was a little bit too far up in the zone. That's one you normally pop right up.
2-1 now to the Tribe's leadoff man.
Again, 42 pitches, and I need to be cautious with my bullpen.
Softly hit here to the left side. Throw to first in time, and the big inning is avoided as the side is retired. A run for the Indians on the RBI double. We've played 2, all tied at 1-1.
Yeah, that should be a double. Looking at it again, I mean, the ball came up on him.
Digging in the switch hitter, Nico Goodrum, as we are all set to begin the 3rd inning in this one. First delivery to him on the way.
Ball, that pitch is out.
Trying to bunt his way aboard, but this will get foul. Now the 1-1 pitch.
Nope, outside.
You do not want to walk the 8-hole hitter. It just opens up so many options. Do we bunt him over to second with the 9-hole hitter? Do we try and play for that big rally with the top of the order coming up? This is a huge pitch. You can't allow this guy to walk.
Another full count pitch home.
Thought that was sinking a lot lower. Way under it. Good at bat though.
Half swing here, but it won't matter. It's strike 3 called anyway, and that's out number 1.
You know, I'm not quite sure how that strikeout will be scored, looking or swinging. He tried to check his swing, but I'm pretty sure the home plate umpire was ringing him up regardless.
Yeah, I guess it was.
The next batter, Jamer Candelario, and he takes ball 1.
He definitely
Bases
doesn't
are
have
empty,
8 home
one
runs.
man out.
I've noticed the stats are just completely off on those screens.
And that pitch misses in the dirt, and it's 2-0 now.
Those
Not even close with the 1-0. He needs to get back in the zone, but be careful. Work the quadrants.
2-0 count. The pitch, a swing and a miss. That's the first strike.
Man, that's another ugly swing right there. This team is just struggling so mightily to get on base. They've looked off balance all game.
Count even at 2-2. 1 out, nobody on. Lazy fly ball out to center field. Mercado comes on now and makes the catch in shallow center for round number 2.
Now batting, the center fielder.
Trying to pick things up where he left off, Victor Reyes. He scored a run after stroking a double in his first at-bat.
And that's been their only hit so far in this one. They've been dealing with some really great pitching in this game.
And he'll power in a fastball that time at 94 for strike 1. Good breaking ball there, laid off for the second strike.
After 2 great pitches, he has a lot of options right now. He could bounce something or go elevated fastball.
Fastball just misses. That's ball 1.
Boy, he sped him up in this at-bat. Now it's time for the changeup. This guy's got a good one, and he hasn't thrown it yet in this at-bat.
The 1-2.
I got to count 2-2.
The classic back foot slider right there with 2 strikes. Usually gets a ton of swing and misses. Nice layoff right there. Fight for another pitch.
The 2-2. High fly ball out to straightaway center. Mercado is under it, and he makes the catch for out number 3. 3 up, 3 down for Detroit. Home half of the third coming up, tied at 1. Striding in for the Indians, Cesar Hernandez. 0 for 1 for him here in this one.
The second baseman, Cesar Hernandez.
Yeah, Carlos, base runners would avoid the ball in previous years almost too much. It was almost like they would stop and you could get thrown out at second on a single sometimes if you're the runner on first.
First pitch of the at-bat. Into the windup. Here comes the 0-1. Swung on and hit deep to left center. This one has a chance, but it bangs off the out-of-town scoreboard, and he is into second base with a leadoff double.
That reminds me, I need to. This year it does actually show that even on auto fielding, and it didn't before. So you can turn that off. I'll update
That's what
that.
we refer to in the
Sliders
biz
later.
as a hanger right there. He's lucky he's getting his baseball back.
And that'll bring in the switch hitting Francisco Lindor, as he'll take a tough pitch on the outside part of the plate for strike 1. He drew a base on balls his first time up. 1-1. From the belt, the pitch.
2 balls, 1 strike.
Franmil Reyes will be next. And he looks at one that misses, and that's an excellent job of making his man throw a lot of pitches as he toughs out a walk.
Well, he's really laboring in the early going here. That's his 3rd walk of the game already. We'll see if he can get it together or if this is just one of those days where he's going to have to grind his way through this start.
And that'll bring in Franmil Reyes. Lays off 1-0. And 2-0 now as this misses below the knees. Reyes brings a ton of pop to the plate with him, particularly against right-handed pitching. Some guys don't drive the ball as well when facing a pitcher who throws from the same side that they swing the bat, but that's certainly not the case here.
Yeah, this guy just absolutely hammers right-handed pitching. You know, some guys like the ball in coming towards him, and that's exactly what the righty-on-righty matchup presents itself. A 2-seamer in, a 4-seamer that leaks out over the plate, a hanging breaking ball. This guy seems to absolutely hammer those.
I don't think he can afford another base runner here, so whatever pitch he feels best about, whichever one he feels most comfortable with, that's the one I expect him to turn to.
Got him to miss the breaking ball there. Franmil Reyes is dealt with for the first out in the bottom of the inning. So here's Tyler Naquin. And on the first pitch, he hits it in the air to right. Maben is there, 2 down.
Maben has a terrible arm. I'm surprised that throw even made it that far. He has a terrible arm, at least in this game.
Here's Carlos Santana now. 1 for 1 after a single his first time up.
Yeah, and they take another single right here. That third base coach is dying to wave his arms. I wouldn't be surprised if anything hit hard through the infield. He's going to wave them.
We're only in the 3rd inning, and his pitch count is above 60. That's not being too efficient with your pitches.
On to first, and the try were held in check as the inning is over. Indians strand a couple. We played 3 full. We're tied at 1.
Another tight game. This whole series has been like this. It's going to be a season like that with the bad Tigers team.
Striding in once again, Kristen Stewart as we begin the top of the 4th.
Number 14.
First pitch coming. Here it is. Swung on and fouled as it looked to make it all the way up into the concourse area. Now the 0-1. And a fastball way off target here, and it's even at 1. One and 2 now as that one's fouled off. Now here's the pitch. Looked like the fastball got away from him there. It's ball 2. Just out in front of that one, still 2-2. Outside in a full count, 3-2.
Not a time to fool around right now on a 3-2 count with the middle part of the order coming up. Expect a good pitch to swing at.
And a changeup swung on and missed for the first out.
Up next for the Tigers.
So the bases are empty with one man gone, and that brings in Miguel Cabrera. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
1-0.
Ball low as he's able to lay off the slider. 1 run, just 1 hit, and no errors in the ball game for the Tigers. Grounded to third.
Hold over that.
Throw on to first will take care of Cabrera for the second out.
Now batting, second baseman, Jonathan.
Off to a slow start, no hits, just the 1 RBI earlier.
Next will be the cleanup hitter, Jonathan Scope. Hit it hard but lined out in his first at-bat.
Yeah, Matty, it's always a little frustrating when you square one up. You hit a solid line drive like he did, and all you have to show for it is a jog back to the dugout. That can get in your head for a little while.
Here's one that misses high. It's 1-1.
Tough to get a pitch count up.
Here it comes.
Just getting out.
Inside, ball 1.
And he gets him to pop it up on the right side of the infield. Hernandez is there, and the side is retired. Down in order go the Tigers. Will go to the bottom of the 4th, tied 1-1. Welcome back to Progressive Field in Cleveland as we send it down to Heidi Watney.
Matt, I talked with manager Terry Francona during the break about his thoughts on the Indians' hitters to this point. And overall, he's really happy with the at-bats they're putting together. They've already worked out 3 walks, so he feels as though that kind of willingness to let the opposition work themselves into trouble will continue to result in good things for them on the scoreboard.
All right, thanks, Heidi. Here comes the first pitch. Bottom part of the zone, and the slider is in there for a called strike.
Hey, he's got great feel for that pitch right there. He can throw it anytime he wants for a strike.
Hard hit ball to second, and that is through into right field for a single.
The center fielder, number 35, Oscar.
To the plate now, Oscar Mercado, as he looks at a fastball that's in there for strike 1. It was a double for him in his first turn at the plate. And he lays off for ball 1. One and 2 now. And another foul ball. Leadoff man aboard here in a 1-1 ball game. Way out in front as this is yanked foul into the seats in left.
Got to take advantage of that pitch right there. 0-2 breaker hanging over the heart of the plate. Not going to see too many of those today.
Here he comes again, 1-2.
After multiple pitches were fouled off, it gets a little disappointing as a pitcher. So you think, say, I'm going to throw one way off the plate and see if he'll chase it. Didn't happen.
There's one on to first, and as Ernie may have said, it's 2 for the price of 1 for the Tigers. 2 away.
Made him throw a lot of pitches in that at bat, but he'll take the double play as a trade-off for sure.
So base is empty now after the double play, and that'll bring in the veteran catcher Roberto Perez. And a fastball close, but ultimately ruled a ball. 1-0. And this is a fastball that's right on the black, but ruled a ball. It's 2-0 now. Two balls and a strike to count.
Actually, a little sinker here.
Swing and a liner. Foul. Not where he wanted that fastball to be, and it's 3-2 now. Jose Ramirez would be next. Lifted down the line in left. And that will end up a foul ball. Another payoff pitch. In the air to center. Long run for the center fielder. He can't get there as it falls in.
Wow, I'm shocked he even pulled the trigger on that pitch. He might have been fooled right there, but he was able to keep his hands back and scramble a good pitch for a base hit.
Stepping in now, Jose Ramirez. As he'll take a look at a high strike that time. It's 0-1. 0 for 2 for him to this point. Oh, high, deep. That is a moonshot, folks. A long home run.
He's tired. That whole inning he was missing his spots. So 2 outs, I didn't mind him continuing to go.
Everyone in the stadium, including the guy in the mound, knew it was just a matter of time until this guy cranked one out of here. Well, that's the first one of the year, and many more are sure to follow.
Ready once again, Cesar Hernandez. And the starter remains out there despite just allowing the long ball. We thought maybe they'd go and get him, but no indication of that yet.
Yeah, to me, that home run was a sign that he's starting to get a little bit tired out there. It was a good pitch to hit, and it's typically the command that starts slipping when you're fatiguing a little bit. So I can't see him being out there much longer.
Now here comes Ron Gardenhire up out of the dugout. And we're going to have a pitching change as that's going to be off for his starter this afternoon.
Your attention, please.
So he will curiously make his way to the dugout after what has to be considered a very brief appearance. Ivan Nova answers the call from the pen here in the 4th as they didn't get the outing they were hoping for from their starter. Ready to deliver. Here's the first pitch. Line drive, and that's a base hit into center field. They've gotten their hits in deep counts. They've gotten their hits in early counts. This has been a real onslaught.
Yeah, you can look at it one of 2 ways, Matty. Either they have a ton of respect for the man on the mound and they are just going to ambush tactics and it seems to work for them, or you can look at it the other way. They're just getting lucky.
A couple of walks for him thus far. Ready with the 0-1 pitch. Fouled away. 3 runs, 7 hits. No errors to this point for the Indians. Protecting with 2 strikes. Went out of the zone that time, but he stays alive. Again, another foul ball.
Can't strike out the AI in this game. Nylander is a great hitter. But goodness gracious.
The 0-2 once more. And he fouls this one off.
Hey, have an AB right here. I know it's frustrating the heck out of the pitcher. You keep fouling these pitches off. Maybe one misses over the heart of the plate.
Now a 58-foot curveball that misses for a ball. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The count to Francisco Lindor.
This is exactly the reason why this guy has been so successful and has played this game so long. Scrambling pitch after pitch, making this guy work out on the mound.
Goodrum is there to make the catch, and the side is retired.
Cleveland's always a hard team to strike out, though.
On
They
the
were in last
strength of
year's
this
game.
2-run home
Really
run.
good hitters.
We played 4. It's now 3-1 Indians. Welcome back. Heidi Watney standing by as we get set for the top of the 5th.
Thanks, Matt. I talked with Tigers manager Ron Gardenhire during the break about the team's offensive performance so far. And he told me, overall, he's not happy with the at-bats they're putting together. They've only managed 1 base runner in this game, so it's easy to see why he said they haven't shown much fight today. He's hoping to see someone step up and find a way to get something going, though. This game isn't out of hand, so it remains to be seen if they can snap out of this funk and climb back into this one.
All right, Heidi, thank you.
Boy, they've been just getting shut down right here. Been a while since they've even had a runner on. So I think it's time to start looking for ways to make some things happen. Drop a bunt, get up on the plate, something.
Scooped up, and an off-balance throw is in time as he takes one away. Wow.
The right fielder, number 4, Cameron Maybin.
Next for the Tigers, Cameron Maybin comes into this at-bat 0 for 1 in the ballgame. Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Ball, that's in.
3-1 our score as we play inning number 5. And that's inside and a bit low anyways. It's 2-0.
You can see this guy's more focused at the plate right now. In that first AB, he went down on strikes.
3-0 now.
Hey, he's had great command all day. Want to see how aggressive he is in the zone with a 3-ball count.
Now the 3-0 offering. Soft liner towards short, and that'll be the second out.
Now
Can't buy a hit today.
catcher, Jake Rogers.
Next up for Detroit, Jake Rogers. He got on top of one and was a ground out victim last time. He's set and the pitch. Now a bouncing ball for the shortstop Lindor. Fielded cleanly. Throw to first in plenty of time, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down for Detroit, and it remains a 3-1 ball game. Digging in once again, Franmil Reyes. He's 0 for 2 thus far in this one. And the pitch. In there, no balls and a strike.
Ooh, I'm shocked he got away with that one, boys. Curveball right down the middle of the plate, and for him to take that pitch looking, he had to be sitting on something else, but he should have pulled the trigger.
Nova benefits from the fact that he throws a lot of strikes, doesn't walk many batters. However, there have been occasions where he's been hit around a bit.
And that's one of the keys when you're managing a guy like this. If he's on, you're going to see him attack hitters, and when he's not, he's more prone to giving up base hits, so you have to have the bullpen ready if it's one of those days that he doesn't have it.
On a good changeup, a swing and a miss, and he's set down on strikes for the second time today.
He showed right there why having a good changeup is so valuable. 2-2, and he flips one up there that the bottom really falls out at the last minute. It's so hard to pick up, and it's even harder to make good contact with.
At the plate now, Tyler Naquin. This is flared out towards second. And that's the second out. So bases are empty here with 2 gone, and that'll bring in one of the best on-base percentage players in the game, Carlos Santana. And they start him with 1 high and away for ball 1. 2 out, nobody on. And he gets a piece of it here, but it's chopped foul. The 1-1.
Man, this guy's a grinder. Fouls off good pitches and doesn't seem to swing at the ones just off the corner. This guy's a pitcher's nightmare.
And this will be fouled away. Into the windup. Here comes the 2-2 pitch. Fly ball out toward left center field. Stewart will reach out with one hand to make the catch on the move, and that ends the inning. Down in order go the Tribe. as the lead remains 3-1.
LTW, yeah, probably. Tigers going for a college bat with the first pick. He's asking.
Coming to the plate now, Nico Goodrum will start things out in their half of the sixth as they look to shake things up here for a lineup that, quite frankly, has been non-existent to date.
I would certainly lean towards, again, whoever is really the most ready, the best player who can make an impact sooner.
Been completely overmatched to this point. 1 hit through 5 innings. I mean, what else can you say about the pitching they faced other than it's been fantastic? We'll see if that continues as we approach the later inning.
Just can't buy a hit.
Flip it to the pitcher covering for the out.
Now batting, third baseman.
Now at the plate, Jeimer Candelario. Flied out in his first at-bat, so make him 0 for 1 so far. The pitch. Now a check swing, but he holds up in time. Ball 1. Looked like a slider perhaps, but it missed badly, and it's 2-0.
Not a great spot to be in right here, 2-0, but I'm not so sure why he's pitching this guy so cautiously. A bottom of the order guy you don't normally see getting pitched like this.
3-0 to him now. And the pitch. And he takes ball 4, so a good job out of the 9-hole in getting on base as we go back to the top of the order.
This is only their second base runner of the game after that earlier hit. Tough to score when you don't have anyone on base, so we'll see if they can get something going here.
So the batting order turns over now and set to go Victor Reyes. 1 for 2 with a double on his line thus far. First pitch on its way. Swing here on the fastball, and this will get fouled off to the right side. We're in the 6th inning here in a 3-1 ball game. And there's ball 1. And it's 2-1 to the Tigers' leadoff hitter. Ball even at 2-2. Hoping to send him packing. Pitch on its way. Lifted out towards straightaway center field. Long run for the center fielder. He gets there, and that's the 2nd out.
Now batting, number 14.
It could be the AL Central. Could be a strong division. We'll see. I just 20% of prospects
for another shot now. Kristen Stewart. He'll
turn
look
out to
to
be
bounce
anything,
back
so.
after striking out his last time up.
Yeah,
That's
but it
an
was a good
unofficial
changeup,
estimate,
Matty. Good arm action on that pitch. Look for.
You know, on paper, yes, a lot of good prospects, but even the Tigers, man, if they have 4 or 5 really just like, hey, these guys are going to be great, all-star pitchers, only one guy will probably even be in the majors in the next 5 years. So
For him to try and stay back a little bit more, let the ball get a little deeper. Don't be shocked if this pitcher tries to rush a heater right here.
Good swing, just got to try and straighten that one out.
We can just straighten these out. It's susceptible to home run. Christian Stewart's the guy I wanted in the lineup today. That's the pitch to do it.
He's set. Here comes the 1-1. Boy, and that's about as bad as you can fool a guy. It's 1-2.
You see that swing right there? You know what that tells me, boys? That this pitcher is doing his job right here. But also the offense is obviously not picking anything up today.
Lifted into the air out towards center field. Center fielder on the run. He's there to make the play, and that'll retire the side. 1 left for Detroit. Score holds. It's 3-1.
Yeah, again, they should have a team. We'll see.
The plate now is the designated hitter, Domingo Santana. A hit in 2 tries so far.
Still think Cleveland and Minnesota are better this year. And Cleveland probably in the future as well. Yeah, they
First
definitely have
pitch
some
of
nice
the
young players.
at-bat on its way.
Pull, that's inside.
This right-handed pitcher, his bread and butter is that two-seamer, and he loves to throw it inside.
Santana in front, 2 balls and no strikes. And it's fouled away. Now the 2-1 pitch.
That's outside.
This umpire, for real.
8-2. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
Hit hard up the middle. And that'll get on through into center field, so he's got himself a leadoff single.
Nice execution right there, Dan. Kept his front shoulder in, kept his hands inside the baseball, and ripped the base hit up the middle.
And if you're a pitcher right there, you can't get discouraged. Sometimes even when you make a good pitch, the ball's going to find a hole somewhere. That one right up the middle.
Now batting, Oscar Mercado. He's working on a 1-for-2 game so far. He's ready. Here's the first offering.
Counts 1-0.
Nobody out, runner on first.
That's ball.
And he lays off a
What?
fastball here that
Oh.
looked pretty good, but it's 2-0. A strike, and it's 2-1.
Gutsy pitch right there. 2-0 changeup for a strike. Good call by the catcher. Great execution by the pitcher.
Now this is slowly hit to short, probably too slowly to get
Yep.
to. One there, throw on to first, won't be in time, so they just get the one there.
It's really tough to double up a guy with the speed that he has, and he was hustling all the way on this ground ball, so they should be happy they at least got the guy out at second. It'll be interesting now to see if he tries to use that speed again and swipe a bag.
Check out
and get
Ivan
into
Nova's
scoring
ratings.
position.
I'm showing this here. So again, ratings don't always tell the whole story. But he's done alright. Knock on wood. I don't jinx him.
From the stretch. Bottom part of the zone, a good changeup gets the call. Prior to the 0-1, here's a look to first. And he'll be back in standing up.
I say it all the time, but you know, when you're down 2 runs, I think a lot of people will say, oh boy, the most important thing right now is I got to start hitting the ball. And I actually disagree, because I think that really makes you tight and nervous. I think the most important thing when you're down 2 runs is your pitching, so that you can keep yourself within striking distance. So right now, these little base runners, little things like this is really what matters. And this is little things you can do to help you win 1-run games.
Drilled down the line, but this will be a foul ball as he's behind 0-2 now. Here's a look over to first, and he's back easily. Runner at first here, 1 man out. Change up, and he ain't buying it. 1-2.
Hey, he threw that pitch with a purpose to get a double play. Good job to let it go by, though, as a hitter.
Fouled off.
Hey, last 2 pitches back-to-back, off speed, then he's late on the fastball. He could pretty much do anything he wants right here on the mound.
Had him fooled as he swings through the curveball. 2 down.
Well, that's just a quality pitch right there. The location was excellent, because if it's put in play, there's a good chance it's on the ground for a double play. And hey, a strikeout always works too.
I'm trying to see what Ivan Nova's home run per 9 is. That's not good. But neither is the lefty I wanted to bring in. I'm going to go with the competent pitcher here.
First things first, here's a throw over, but the runner's back easily. At the plate, Jose Ramirez.
As he swings and lifts it in the air out to shallow right field.
Maben is there. And that ends the inning.
Should have started
Indians
Nova
leave one, but they
there.
hang on to a 3-1 lead. New inning set to get underway. Striding forward now is the DH, Miguel Cabrera. No hits to this point.
Even though we're moving into the back end of this game, they're only down by a couple of runs. You know that old slogan, a bloop and a blast. They could certainly use that right now.
He's set. Here it comes. Now a ball hit sharply toward third. And that's in for a base hit. Make it a 1 for 3 games so far.
Boy, Dero, it's about time they got something brewing here. First pitch single, and maybe now they can start to get some traffic on the bases.
Yeah, absolutely, Dan. Ambush tactics, not always the play. You want to drive that pitch count up and get into that bullpen, but sometimes desperate times call for desperate measures.
So that'll bring up Jonathan Scope as the first pitch to him is in there for a called strike one. He's hitless in his 2 at-bats so far. And it's 0-2 to Scope.
You know, when a guy starts to get tired, you often see their breaking stuff start to flatten out, but that's not the case here. Still has really nice finish on that slider, as we just saw.
And a slider's in the dirt as he lays off it for a ball. Fastball swung on and missed for the first out.
That was some nice execution on that pitch. Spotted it nicely down around the bottom of the zone. And when you do that, especially with 2 strikes, not a lot of guys are going to hurt you. You're going to get a lot of ground balls and swings and misses down there.
So that'll bring up C.J. Cron. Now a ball lined to the left side. But this is a foul ball.
Today.
Comes set and the 0-1. Oh, and he's really getting the better of him now. It's strike 2.
0-2 count. You could do just about anything you want right now. Up, down, in, out, hard, soft. Good time to be a pitcher.
Fly ball out toward left center field. And that's in there. Base hit.
Default sliders at the catch. I felt like it should get down, and it did. Didn't hit it all that well, but it's enough.
Now here comes the Cleveland skipper up out of the dugout on his way to the mound. And it would
Carlos, I
appear
agree.
he's seen enough of his starter this afternoon.
Pitchers.
So he'll leave with the lead. Can't lose this one, but he is responsible for the 2 runners out there, so he could get.
So let's do the let's start kicking this up to 8 when they do this. Now I can also just do that because that no longer applies. So we'll go with that, and then I'll be all set for when I go and simulate.
No decision if they were to come around and score. Nick Whitgren will come on in relief as he'll make his second appearance of the season so far.
Fastball, slider, changeup.
Cameron Maben will be his first assignment here as he'll face him with runners at first and second and 1 gone.
I'm going to try to hit it to right field here. So fastball, slider, changeup.
He's ready. Now the pitch. Takes this the other way to right. That's in there. Base hit. And they'll hold that runner at third as everybody moves up a base, and they're loaded with 1 away.
Nice piece of hitting right there. Looked like the guy on second had to respect
behind your runners
freeze a little bit.
They had to freeze there for a second to make sure that line drive gets down, but eventually does get to third base.
Into the box now, Jake Rogers. 0-1 the count. One out with the possible tying and go-ahead runs on base here. A ball and a strike.
Clearly, this is a tough situation to be on the mound, but the key here is minimizing. They're up by 2, so if he could find a way to get out of this bases-loaded jam by only giving up 1 run, that would be clutch.
This is hit high in the air out toward left center. And this gets down. Extra bases, and this could change everything.
Just gotta run, man.
Now the relay home. He beats the
I
tag.
cannot believe I didn't get out.
And this ball game
The
is
base running is
tied
terrible.
here in the 7th.
I'll take it.
Boy, there
Take
are
Rogers,
base hits,
baby.
but then there are big
Last
base
minute
hits,
sub.
D-Row. This one's getting late. That is a huge 2 RBI base hit to tie things up.
Yeah, Dan, in the late innings, the pressure gets
Boy, base
higher.
running.
It's who can control
Not
their
as responsive
emotions. And
this
from
year.
an offensive
So one of the things I've noticed with base running is it takes into account more of like the base running aggressiveness. It's almost like a base running intelligence rating. And you could see it on that play a little bit. So like we had Miguel was on third, he scored no problem, but you can see his base running aggressiveness is god awful. Crone would have been behind him, so again terrible. And then it was Cameron Maben who has good aggressiveness. Also a lot more speed, which is why they were kind of on top of each other there.
standpoint,
But
that's a
look at that.
nice job of taking a deep breath and coming through
I
for the
agree.
team.
So now to the plate, Nico Goodrum. Fouled away.
A little short on the bullpen today, so I had to keep that in mind. Buck Farmer's kind of taking over that 7th inning role here. Potentially, it'll be a split.
He's ready. Here's the 0-1. Fastball misses inside. It's even at 1.
Well, this is a strikeout situation, but it's also a ground ball situation. I expect we'll see a lot of pitches down in the zone trying to prevent the hitter
If
from
it's still
getting the
tied,
ball up
I
in the
might
air.
actually leave
Count
Nolan
now
in,
at 2-1.
just in case we go to extras. Give you some extra pitches.
From the belt, the pitch.
Ball, that's outside.
When you're playing close games like this, base runners mean everything, so
Oh, yeah,
you
there's a
can
man in
ill
third.
afford to
Still
start
third.
giving away free passes.
The 3-1 pitch is swung on and missed, and that's a full count now. 3 balls and 2 strikes.
The offensive approach here is simple. You know the pitcher's going for the K, so set your sights middle of the plate. And then don't worry about the infielders. They're so
Okay,
close,
that's
hard
fine.
contact is a guaranteed ribble.
Come on,
The catch is made. Here comes the go-ahead run for the plate. They can't make the tag on him. He's safe.
No sense
And
in
they've
risking
taken
out
the
at
lead
third.
here in the 7th.
Hey, putting together good at-bats late in the games
Probably
can
would've made
really
it.
help out. And how about this
I doubt
sac
they would've
fly
cut
right
that
here?
throw.
Good at-bat that leads to his team getting the lead here in the
There
late
we go.
innings.
That's about
Dominic
right.
Leone
Yeah, I like
will
him
come on in
picking up that
relief as
slider
he'll
again.
make his 2nd
Even though they
appearance
keep
of the
going to the
season
same
so far.
pitchers.
Jaimer Candelario
Fastball,
will be his
all
first
fastballs
assignment
pretty much.
upon
These guys are
entering
the
as he'll
easiest to
bat
hit,
with the runner in
in my
scoring
opinion.
position
Not a
here
lot of
and
breaking
2
pitches to
away.
worry about.
Now time called at the plate as he'll step out and try
I
and
never
start
win
it
when I
again.
stream too. Look at this. This would be remarkable.
Looking to keep this a 1-run game. The pitch. And a bit too high with that one. It's 1-0.
No strike.
One defensive sub, Travis Demerit, but Crow won't bring him in yet.
Just missing here. 2-0.
I'll let Christian Stewart get
Now
one
you
more
can
at
see he's
bat.
working around
Probably
this guy
next
right here.
inning.
Why not? First base is
And then we'll
open.
put Demerit
Walk
in
wouldn't
the
be the
left
worst thing in
before
this spot.
going.
The set and the 2-0. And a little
that's a good swing.
self-preservation down at first as he pulls that one in to end the
tight.
inning. So
Great
3
inning.
runs on 4 hits, no errors, and a man left on. We'll move on now to the bottom half of the 7th. Get up and stretch. It's the Tigers 4 and the Indians 3.
So was I surprised about their attempt? No. I guess I was. I don't know. I'm not surprised they did it. I think you could start to see. It just made sense to port that over. I'm both surprised that they didn't just go the extra mile and just kind of. And I get it. Like this is a huge just. Like understand creating like a stadium creator. That's no easy task. But like. You can see like those stadiums are made like piecemeal kind of, right? So like if you look at some of those minor league stadiums, you can see that like some of them are based off of the Boston Stadium, some of them are based off of Petco. Like they use the original stadiums as like a mold and then they kind of like rip it apart and tear it down a little bit. So even having that where you could like take elements of different stadiums, or even if they would let you take out like where it would have like the Twins logo in the Metrodome. Like, why doesn't it just put your logo there instead or something like that? So yeah, I'm not surprised because it's a big undertaking. I am surprised that to me, it was just kind of like a Band-Aid attempt. I don't think I would have bothered to put that in because I think it's just kind of a tease. It's kind of like the online leagues, same thing. It's just kind of a tease to me. And now the fact that they're not even working. Um, but again, I always like to give a plug for Out of the Park Baseball. That's a small company, Out of the Park Developments. I've worked with those guys on their beta testing team for a number of years, and they make some outstanding products. I mostly play their baseball game. But Out of the Park Baseball is phenomenal. And this year, for instance, they actually have a stadium creator. So you can create an expansion team. You can build a stadium for it. It's all 3D. Again, it's a totally different game than MLB The Show. Understand that. But in a lot of ways, it's a lot better, in my opinion. So if you've never checked that game out, definitely do. It's really, really cool. It's just awesome. SSG, we have our own Sim Sports Gaming. We have our own league. Daily real-time league. Opening days tomorrow. So super exciting for that, especially with real baseball going.
Now to the plate, Cesar Hernandez.
So what do we do? We have the lead here.
Head-to-head against Nova,
Nova's
batting at an even
well.
400.
I believe this would be the second time these guys have seen Nova. I like his home run per 9. I think we are going to go with Buck Farmer. I'm just making sure I don't want to go with a lefty instead. See, I worry about Ramirez, though. The home runs per 9 is a little scary. Let's see, he's going to actually increase the power a little bit. Oh boy, who do I put in here? I mean, look at Reyes. Yikes. This is a really tough call. But I'm going to stick with what I said originally. We're going
Buck
with Farmer
Farmer
here.
is out from the bullpen now as he'll make his first appearance here on the season.
Filling in, 7th inning guy here. You know, and I guess what I could have done also, you see, I want to leave Jimenez for the 9th. Cedeno, I don't really think can pitch. I'll get him up here, maybe to get the last out. We can sit Ramirez down. And I'll bring up Bard. So if we need to get that last out, get some guys with good strikeouts. No defensive subs just yet.
The pitch.
There's only one I bring in usually
there,
anyway.
And it's 0-1.
But I'll be back second next inning. So.
Swing and a miss, and he's in the hole 0-2 now.
Hey, no shame in that. Your eyes light up when that heater comes above the belt. That's so tough to lay off of.
And he'll try and tempt him with one in the dirt, but he'll hold back here. It's 1-2.
Good pitch right there with the bases empty. Why not take a shot? Throw that breaking ball in the dirt and see if he'll chase after it.
2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here now the 2-2. Gets him looking at the knees for the strikeout.
Nice job there taking care of the leadoff hitter via the strikeout. I'll tell you, in a one-run game, especially this late, getting that first guy in the inning, it's so important. It changes the whole complexion of the inning, so that was a big out.
Yeah, well, that's a really good. So Carlos says he wishes Out of the Park and the show would merge. Like in theory, yeah, that would be amazing. But and with all due respect, like I don't know any of the dudes at SDS. They make an awesome baseball game. My worry if that were to happen though is that Out of the Park would just lose its luster, right? I mean, it would start to be marketed for things like more Perfect Team, which is Out of the Park's version of like Diamond Dynasty. I feel like we would lose, at least from people like me who like franchise play, things like that more. I would worry about that. I would be really sad, actually. Like, it'd be exciting in a way. I mean, it'd be great for the company, I think, if they were to get like an offer to be sold. I mean, that's awesome for them on a personal level. I'd be super excited about that. But I guess selfishly as a gamer, I'd be a little bit sad because I love that Out of the Park is really, really true to their core base still, even though they're really big in the Perfect Team and things like that. And but they do a really good job of kind of balancing. And I think San Diego Studios tries to do that. I shouldn't say try. They do a good job too. But it's pretty clear. Anyone who plays this mode, I mean, we know franchise is kind of a second seed at best, probably a third seed behind Road to the Show and Diamond Dynasty. So, but yeah, I mean, it would be neat. It would be really cool to see potentially. But I'd only want to see if the focus was really kind of, on franchise mode per se. It'd be awesome. Yeah, I think for next-gen consoles, Carlos is saying that maybe they'll do that next year. I think that's the logical thought. The problem is usually first-generation games, right? Like the very first game that come out on a system is usually stripped down a little bit because they're working with like a dev system, right? So they're not really even utilizing a full. They don't even know what's completely capable just yet. I mean, they're kind of using like a demo system that Sony would have sent, and maybe it's different for San Diego Studios because they're affiliated with Sony directly. But I don't know. Again, would I be surprised? No. Am I expecting it? No. I don't know what to make of that, but it'd be super cool. I mean, I really hope we'd see that, and it's one of the reasons why I considered picking a team like Tampa or Oakland because I was like, oh, maybe next year I'll be able to build a stadium. But went with the hometown Tigers, figured that was safe. So.
So here's Francisco Lindor now. As he'll look at a changeup that drops below the knees for ball one. It was a flyout for him in his last trip.
Challenge pitcher.
A swing, and this one is blasted to right field. Nothing's gonna stop it. That one is out of here.
I didn't put it right over the middle.
This game is tied.
I went a little high.
It's a solo shot.
Didn't need to
for
do
Frankie
that,
Lindor.
but I was hoping to sneak one by him for a first strike.
For him, as that'll pull him even at 4 apiece.
No, Buck Farmer.
And some guys just have a knack for the dramatic. He comes up in a big spot and just cranks one out of here to even the score. Not a bad time to hit your first homer of the year, huh?
Number 32.
Into the box, Frenlo Reyes.
98 power versus righty.
A changeup that can't find the zone. It's ball one. He could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Inside, and he falls behind the hitter now. 2-0.
This inning really feels like it's getting away from him out there. As a reliever, you can't let that happen. Nothing you can do about what's already happened, and it's only going to get worse if you're not focusing on the guy in the batter's box.
That's going to even up the count at 2-2.
There's that slider. He's chased sliders twice already today.
Good eye to lay off the slider there, and he works it to full 3-2 here.
Hey, that's a nice take by the batter right there, but that's a non-competitive off-speed pitch. Got to do better to at least entice a swing.
Got him. And that's the third time we've written a K next to his name.
Buck Farmer, 2 strikeouts.
That was a big strikeout there, guys. The best pitchers have the ability to strike guys out when they really need to, and that second out was really important at this point of the game. Could be something we look back on later when the game's over.
Hang on. You got time.
Standing in now, Tyler Naquin. He's 0 for 2 in the ballgame so far. 0-1 count. Here it comes. And a pitch in the dirt as he lays off. It's 1-1. There's a strike with the breaking ball.
Wow, I can't believe the hitter took that one. The pitcher absolutely got away with a hanger.
And they'll try to get him fishing there, but he won't offer in the dirt, and it's back to even at 2-2. Swing and a miss. Blew the fastball right by him, and the inning is over.
So again, I can always strike out people with relievers. I'm not starting pitching.
But thanks to this solo shot, the Tribe is back to tie things up. We're through 7 this afternoon. All even now at 4 apiece.
Yeah, Carlos, they would be pretty close if they
now
were just to adopt some of the things. I would still, I don't think 10% would do it. I still think NBA 2K by far has the best franchise mode. I don't even think it's close.
Out here in a tie ball game.
I know.
And every pitch so crucial in a tie ball game, so they'll step out and ask for time.
Next inning. So we're looking at the bottom of the 8th. Want another righty, probably. Yeah, we're going to want a righty, so let Daniel Bard go. But it's a full inning, so we're going to keep him ready. We're going to So we're going to bring in Alex Wilson to start it. And then if we need to get the last out with one of these guys, we'll do that. So I'll get Bard back up after we bring in Wilson. And then the 9th inning will be, we can hopefully get the lead for Joe Jimenez.
First pitch coming. Here it is.
Good bunter. What do we got? They're playing it.
Here's the 0-1. Check swing, but he held up in time. Ball 1. Pulled high in the air out to right field. Reyes is there to put it away for route number 1.
The batter, number 14.
So
All right, Stuart, I left you in.
Forward now,
Started today for your pop.
He's hitless in 3 at-bats to this point. First delivery to him on the way.
Oh, damn. That's what I was looking.
Ready with the 0-1. Good deception on the slider there as he's way out in front. On its way, the 0-2 pitch. Not a bad pitch there with 2 strikes, but it misses 1 and 2. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now.
That's a great take right there. Great pitch recognition to let that one go. Opposite-handed, that's coming across the plate. You might think you got a shot to stay inside that one.
We're in the 8th inning now of a 4-4 ball game. Now a fastball inside, and he works it back to a full count now. Danger looms on deck here in the person of Miguel Cabrera. Line to the right side. And there's out number 2.
Would have probably pinch ran for Stewart too, since he's going to count.
Oh man, you can't
Well,
hit a
if we get
ball
the
any
lead,
harder than that.
I'll leave
I
him
mean,
if we
this
don't.
ball gets on him in a heartbeat. Nice job to stay with it though, and then make the out at first.
Big clutch rating for Miguel.
Stepping into the box, Miguel
here.
Cabrera. He singled his last time up. And he misses inside with that one. Ball 1. Hit on the ground to third. On to first, and this will remain a tie ball game as the inning is over. So now Carlos Santana. He'll get things started now in the bottom of inning number 8.
The first baseman,
Alex Wilson will come on out of the bullpen as he'll be appearing in his 3rd game this season.
your attention please. Now pitching for Detroit, number 31, Alex Wilson.
He comes set. Here's the 0-0 pitch. And he'll try to crowd him there to start the at-bat. It's 1-0. Wilson was known as a short relief specialist, a guy who came in, got 1 or 2 big outs, but with the new pace of play rules, they're forcing a change for this right-hander.
Last pitch was a fastball, tries to double up with the same piece of cheese, and it gets turned around. Nice piece of hitting.
To the plate now, Domingo Santana, as he'll take one up in the zone, but indeed in the strike zone for the first strike. He's 2 for 3 and looking for more here.
Jeez,
barely able to make contact. Down 0-2 now. Swing and a miss as he ran the fastball right by him for the first out.
Anytime a pitcher locates a fastball on the inside corner, it's going to be a tough pitch to hit. That one was spot on, and he had no answer for it.
From the stretch, here's the pitch. Oscar Mercado stands in as he looks at ball 1 here. The 1-0. Wilson, formerly property of the Milwaukee Brewers. He became a member of this team after signing as a free agent earlier this season.
Yeah, I know he expected to get a longer-term deal, but these are the facts right now. He is on a 1-year deal, and he is going to have to produce if he is going to get that multi-year he's been looking for.
No problem striking people out the
So
bullpen.
he gets him swinging on a pitcher's pitch.
Starter for some
Oscar
reason.
Mercado goes down for out number 2.
You know, at first I was thinking, maybe it's the slider, like maybe it's the fatigue slider for those, but they're both at 5. So I don't know, really weird.
In the bottom half.
That was his third batter. So, do we want to just let him be? I think so. Yeah. Tie game, you don't want to just burn through all your pitchers.
Ready to deliver. Here's the
Plus
first
he's got
pitch.
the confidence now. He
Starts
can
him out with a slider for a strike. And this is sliced foul into the stands in right, out of play. Swing and a miss as the slider sets him down for the final out of the inning.
Should have brought him in the last game.
One left for the Tribe. This game's all tied at 4.
I think he has that Road Warrior quirk, so that may have been impacting a little bit. Ninth inning, tie game.
Here's the cleanup hitter, Jonathan Scope. And to start out the inning, it looks like they've decided to stick with the same reliever out there, Dan.
They have, Matt. I think the way he pitched the last inning kind of inspired that. And it's not uncommon for relief pitchers to have troubles after they sit and watch their guys swing the bat a bit. We'll see if he stays as sharp as he was before.
Ready with the first pitch. Here it comes.
Oh, that's out.
Like to see him be looking to the opposite field with this next swing. Pitcher's trying to work you away.
All over the place to start the ninth. It's 3-0 now. C.J. Cron will be next.
I don't think so. They'll still get a good pitch on 3-1.
That one's down around the knees, taken for a strike. And he lays off, ball 4. Now the potential go-ahead run is on base here.
Couple things to look at here.
Digging in and looking for more. C.J. Cron.
Decent speed.
Go-ahead run at first. Nobody out.
Much better speed. We could bring in Castro to play second after that, or even Mercer. But those guys aren't. Mercer's a much better infielder. Demerit, I should say, we would be bringing in anyway as a defensive sub. But the other question is, do we even consider bunting? Probably not. Can Demerit steal? No. He's got good speed though. Can any of these guys steal? No. Well, I'm not going to take out my best hitter then. It's just not necessary for one of my best hitters.
Here's the first pitch. Ball 1. Go-ahead runs aboard here at first with nobody out.
Plus I can bunt the next at bat if he gets on base here.
And he won't bite at that one either. It's 2-0.
You never want to fall behind as a pitcher, but doing it to a guy like this is even worse. He's got to bear down and execute for the rest of this at-bat, starting right now.
2 balls and a strike to the Tigers' first baseman.
It's not easy to get your barrel to a pitch that high. That can be an effective location as long as he keeps it above the letters.
Boy, he just threw that fastball by him.
Hey, he's got excellent stuff working right now. Somebody has to make an adjustment. You're seeing a lot of late swings. No one's getting the front foot down. No one's getting the barrel to the baseball.
Go-ahead runs aboard here at first with nobody out.
Versus bad contact, so I don't want to steal. 3-2 I might.
Swing and a miss on the slider, and that's out number 1.
That swing tells me he was really trying to get a pitch out front and rip it down the line, but that wasn't a great pitch to do it on. It's really not the best two-strike approach either.
Slider laid off for a ball.
Well, he punched out the last guy, but he didn't get any favors from the blue on the first pitch in this at-bat. Probably should be ahead of this hitter instead of behind.
Reined in. Hernandez at second. Back to first, a double play, and we stay tied heading to the bottom of the ninth. Nothing across here this half.
The order. Yikes.
So the Indians lineup flips over, and to the plate, Jose Ramirez. He comes into this appearance in the midst of a 1-for-4 day.
It's that same problem though. Less power versus lefties. Ah, what a tough call. What did he do? How many pitches has he thrown? He's thrown 12. I'm definitely not going to let him pitch the Lindor. So we can let him go this first to go.
First delivery to him on the way. And a ball 1-0. Fought off at the plate as it's chopped foul. Now the 1-1 pitch. Lays off 2-2 now. Full count now, 3-2. Crowd gets up for the 3-2. And that misses here, ball 4. And of all things, it's a leadoff walk that puts the winning run on base to start the bottom half. Here's the first pitch. The 0-1. And he'll try and get that winning run into scoring position as he puts this one down. To second for 1. And the relay won't nearly be in time as he's there easily.
Wasn't that ball caught in the air? I mean, I should have double play.
Matty, he checks every box. Charisma, smile, hits from both sides of the plate.
Oh, wow, it did. Okay, never mind.
Defense, you name it. GM's dream right here.
I'm glad bunting works a lot better this year. So, is this Lindor? Yeah, Lindor's up. That means we're switching.
Xavier Cedeno is called upon to get the final 2 outs of the ninth and send this one into extra innings. Before the pitch, a check on that winning run at first. Just keeping him close.
That's a little deep. Good.
Here's the first pitch.
Nope.
Ball 1.
Wow. What is that?
Count 1-0.
And a strike to even the count. 1-1.
One of the best ways to keep a guy uncomfortable is to pound him inside. They're doing that, and this one caught the zone.
Throw over to first. Back in standing. Possible winning run on first. 1 man away. And a big rip at the curveball, but he didn't get it, and he becomes the second casualty of the inning.
Pretty textbook breaking ball for the punch out right there. Got it to bend a lot, and by the time it got there, it had fallen completely out of the zone. Not much you can do with that pitch.
In now, Franmil Reyes, as he will look at a first pitch fastball for ball 1. Struggling so far in this one and looking to erase his 0-for-4 ball game right here. Hit down the third baseline, but a foul ball. 1-1. 1-1. Here it is. Lifted in the air out to left. Left fielder giving chase. He makes the catch, and we are headed to extra innings. So they can't get that winning run home, and that means free baseball here this afternoon. 9 can't decide a winner. We'll move ahead to the 10th, and we are tied 4-4. Hunter Wood takes the mound as he'll be the first man to pitch here in extra innings. So coming to the plate, Jake Rogers. He drove in 2 with a double in his last at-bat.
Ready.
34. Jake Rogers.
Might be Nick Ramirez. Scary.
First offering on its way.
Take a picture.
And that one right down Main Street.
Here we got here. Hunter Wood, the average, which is well at home though. And breaking ball.
And that's a called strike at the letters, though that looked high
This
from
umpire
here. It's
is
0-2
definitely
now.
home cooking.
Did a good job to shorten up and protect the plate, and he'll have another shot at it here. off-speed pitch in the dirt as he takes it for a ball. To 2 balls and 2 strikes now. Here it comes. Fastball well outside.
From 0-2 to 3-2, what a great at-bat to start this inning off. Hey, this could be a productive inning.
And possibly an interesting development here. It's a leadoff walk to begin the frame in extra innings. Standing in, Nico Goodrum. He's 0 for 2 with a sacrifice to this point.
Not a great bunter, but just a couple single guys coming up. I think we're going to have to try it.
Travis Demerit will come on now and pinch run here.
Number 50, Travis Demerit.
And up onto the first base side here in this situation. Make sure you bunt it straight.
Here's the first pitch. Trying to get that go-ahead run to scoring position now as he puts this one down. And he'll reach first as they can't make the play on him.
Might bunt again right here.
Now that third baseman, Gamer Candelario.
Hold on, timeout.
At the plate, Jeimer Candelario, as he takes a cold strike at the knees. It's 0-1. 0 for 2 from him so far in this one.
Not a great bunter. I do want to keep him in for his defense. They're playing us to bunt, but how you want to bunt to the third base side? It's not too hard.
The 0-1 bunt attempt here as he gets this one down. And the off-balance throw gets him. Nice play for the out.
Bunt to third base side, it draws the third baseman off the bag.
Go ahead, run to third there after the bunt. Sacrifices aren't everyone's favorite play because you give up precious outs, but they do have a lot of ways now to take the lead.
Number 50.
So looking at the infield, something hard on the ground, or just to the outfield.
Reyes. And he could very well get the intentional pass here, as that would set up a potential double play ball that might keep the game tied. That's popped up.
Wait, where is it?
And that will fall as he comes through. It's a base hit. And not in time as the run scores. As he arrives at second without a play, as they take the lead with 2 runs scoring on the play.
Boy, we thought this one was going to go way into the night. That is a big base hit here in extra innings to give them the lead by 2.
Yeah, Dan, you know as well as I do. It gets to the extra innings. Everybody tries to go deep and end it with one swing and a bat. That's a nice job to stay within himself and drive in a pair.
Right, that was Nico Goodrum there. Okay.
Oliver Perez.
Is that a double then or what? You can also pinch it here. Curious what they scored that. Hey, they gave him a double. Look at that. Generous. So let's just go into here. Christian Stewart's okay against lefties, but I'm going to take him out for demerit anyway. So we need Romine. Might as well let's put him in. He's got a decent clutch though, 67. He hasn't had a bat all year. Yeah, what the hell? Let's give Jordy.
But now as he'll make his first appearance here on the season, Jordy Mercer will get a chance with a runner in scoring position here as he'll pinch hit now with 1 away.
That's a good breaking ball. Looking to right field again here.
Perez with a good fastball there to start the at-bat. No balls and a strike. Trying to add some padding to their lead in the form of that run standing out there at second base. And it's 1-1. Runner's on his way to third. Pitch outside. The throw. It skips in and he's safe. Close play, but he's in there.
And to me, they just can't let guys get lead like that, especially knowing that the guy behind the plate isn't known for his arm. Here he swipes third, and they just kind of gave it to him.
Sinker misses there, and now he's in trouble. 3-1.
Good job to work the count and put himself back in the driver's seat. Started off with 1 strike, and now he's got the count in his favor, 3-1.
Here's the 3-1. And he fouls this one off.
We'll use contact swing here. First time in the game.
And he popped him up. Back into foul territory behind first. But this will land untouched. 3-2 pitch. And he misses ball 4. So he comes out of the bullpen and immediately walks the first man he faces.
I'm sure the manager is fine with that. He tried to entice him with that 3-2 pitch, but he didn't take the bait. First base was open, though, so he just needs to make a good pitch for a ground ball.
Yeah, I wanted to surprise you guys with that.
Digging in now, Miguel Cabrera. He was retired via the ground ball last time up.
Yeah, Matty, expect this pitcher to try and get the same result. That's his last at bat right here. The double play is in order. Anything on the ground, the way this defense is, they could certainly roll too.
Perez, the native of Mexico. This is his 18th season in the big leagues, so he's had quite an incredible career.
Yeah, and he's had to continue to evolve and adjust as a ball player. To stay in the league that long, 15 years, I can't begin. He's on the short list. There's not many guys who make it a year, 2 years, maybe max. I would wonder what the average length is of guys in the big leagues, but to stay in this game 15 years screams to being a great teammate and being willing to constantly adjust.
Trying to get Cabrera to chase there, but it's 1-2.
Big spot right here. That's a great pitch to try and see if you could get him to fish outside the zone. He's still in the driver's seat right now, and I'd expect something else to miss off the plate.
Catch is made. Here comes the runner from third. They'll cash in here as the run is in to score from third.
What about these Tigers?
One of the things you want to do as an offense, right, is stay fundamental and keep pushing. A great job there. Sac fly pushes the third run across in this inning.
An extra run, right?
And next it'll be the Tigers cleanup hitter, Jonathan Schoop. It was a walk in his last trip. First pitch coming. Here it is.
Inside, ball 1.
3 runs already home here. A ball and a strike.
1-1.
In my opinion, one of the toughest pitches in the game to square up. Just a heavy sinker with good downward action.
High in the air out to center field. Mercado is there, and he'll make the catch to retire the side. So they pick up 3 runs on only 2 hits in the inning. No errors and a runner left on. Jordy Mercer remains in the game, batting 8th and manning left field. So digging in now, Tyler Naquin, who could really use a knock here. 0 for 3 in the game so far. Austin Romine is into the ball game here as he takes over behind the plate.
Number 7, Austin Romine.
Joe Jimenez takes the ball, looking to make sure this game goes no further. Save situation here in inning number 10. First delivery to him on the way. And he throws the fastball by him here. 0-1.
Hey, either this hitter needs a cup of coffee or he was sitting off speed right there.
High in the air out to center field. Reyes is right there, 1 down.
Who gets competitive first, Mariners or the Tigers? I'll just say the Mariners by default. I don't think Alavila's done a good job rebuilding this team at all. I don't think it needed a complete teardown. I think the timing for the Tigers to be torn down was just ill-conceived. Whether you want to do it or not doesn't change guaranteed contracts. And I don't think Alavila's necessarily a bad GM, but I think he's done... I don't know. It's really hard to explain. It's one of the reasons why I wanted to take this team. I think he's done kind of what the ownership wanted to do when Mike Ilitch died. His son took over, and I think we're really looking to cut costs. But again, they're guaranteed contracts. You can't do that. So to me, you would have been better off and would have made more money by remaining competitive, continuing to kind of spend money to make money, so to speak. And I don't think baseball, you don't have time to do complete rebuilds. They're unnecessary. It's not the NFL draft. It's not the NBA draft where you can get a LeBron James and you're suddenly changed. Baseball, you should be competitive every year. Prospects are incredibly overrated, and in my opinion, they should almost always be traded off for proven assets, almost every time, unless it's a sure thing. Even, Riley Green with the Tigers, right? Everyone's just freaking out. He's 19. He's going to be so good. Potentially. But do you think he's going to be Ken Griffey Jr., who is 19 and came up to the majors? No. So if you can get someone who thinks he's Ken Griffey Jr., trade him. Casey Mize, same thing. If someone wants to overpay and they think he's going to be the next best thing, trade him. He's already started to show signs of not being exactly what people were thinking. He's not the next Steven Strasburg or anything like that, or so it seems. So, again, it's still very early. Nobody knows. But that's the whole point. It's like you're banking on so much unknown. And I just don't think successful baseball teams aren't built that way. And people used to always say, what about the Astros? Like they were built through the farm system. Is that true anymore? With the things that they were proving with their cheating. And again, how smart has their GM been when he cut JD Martinez, for instance, who the Tigers picked up for free? JD Martinez is now an all-star. So like, I just don't, and again, JD Martinez was a highly sought after prospect for a while, and then just quickly became quote unquote washed up. And so there's too many variables in my opinion. Same thing, even look at Bryce Harper, everyone raving about him, and where's he going to go play next year? And or this is last off season. And Bryce Harper is a good player, but he's also probably the most overrated player in baseball. He doesn't produce the type of WAR that merits spending that much money, especially on kind of a mid-market sized team like Phillies. The Phillies are going to hate that contract eventually. He's a good player. I'd want him on my team, but he's nowhere near someone like a Mike Trout or something like that. Not even close. And again, no one is. So that's just my 2 cents. Again, always open to chat about that. Yeah, the Marlins aren't as bad as they've been. The Rays, same thing. Rays trade off a lot of young prospects, right? They get everybody hyped up and they move guys. The Rays are a great team. They move guys at the most opportune times, no doubt.
Santana, a couple of singles for him in 4 trips for him this afternoon. First pitch of the at-bat.
Tigers looking to sweep in Cleveland.
Fastball just missed above the zone. Bases are empty, 1 man out. And this is taken for a called strike. Oh, that's a tough call. Now 1-2.
Great job on those last 2 pitches of varying speeds. He gave him a hard fastball, and then he locked him up with a changeup.
The 2-2. Fastball at the knees, maybe even below the knees, but it's strike 3 called, and there are 2 away.
Well, no preferential treatment there. Sometimes we see great hitters have their calls go their way on close pitches, but not this time. I think that was actually a good take, but on 2 strikes, anything that close can go either way.
Domingo Santana is in now as he watches a pitch for ball 1. And it's a called strike to even the count at 1. And he takes ball 2, and it's 2-1. And the pitch to 2-2 now. Bases are empty here with 2 men out. Last strike now for Cleveland. Full count, 3-2 to the Indians DH.
You don't always have to straight challenge a guy on a 3-2 count.
Swing and a miss. He struck him out, and that'll do it here as the ball game is over.
Hey, it took them an extra frame to do it, but hey, they're not going to complain as they lock up a nice road victory here in 10 innings.
7-4 the final finish today. The Tigers used a 3-run 7th to help propel them to the win. Xavier Cedeno claims the win out of the pen, his first. Joe Jimenez hammers down the save, his first of the year. So that just about does it for Mark DeRosa, Dan Plesac, Heidi Watney, and our entire crew. I'm Matt Vasgersian. You've been watching MLB The Show. For more, make your way over to theshownation.com.
Let's take a look at some post-game stats here.
Here now is our final line score this afternoon. First for the victorious Tigers, 7 runs, 7 hits.
I'm not striking out a ton. That's something I'll need to keep an eye on. I'm curious what others are seeing too. And I only took 1 contact swing the full game. I never use contact swing unless it's, again, trying to
Time of
score
the
a
ball
game-winning
game,
run,
3 hours
less than
and
2 outs
28
kind of thing,
minutes.
guy in third. It's very rare.
Thank you for joining us here this afternoon. And we remind you to please drive home safely.
And I would say, well, maybe I'm just hitting too well overall, but I mean, the other 2 games I've been scratching runs out. Again, no home runs this game, but 3 doubles. And again, that's that power slider working really, really well. Miguel Cabrera, 2 sacrifice hits. Oh, they just gave him 1 sacrifice hit. I thought he had 2. Beautiful bunts today by the Tigers, a couple of them that were necessary. Pulled our starter early, just wasn't his day, and that was a big change going from Turnbull to Nova there. It helped a lot. Poor Buck Farmer actually pitched well, but gave up a bomb of a home run. Bullpen again, those are the changes I wanted to make to this team. Come up with 12 strikeouts after our starter only had 1. That's just a trend I'm seeing, and I'm having trouble striking out with my starting pitching. It could just be because Tiger starters are just bad. Could be related to energy, I'm not exactly sure. But 2 doubles, 2 home runs for them. We survived those. We hit that lefty. Or was Wood the lefty? I think Wood was the lefty. We hit him pretty hard there. Let's do some tallying here. My record when streaming now, I guess officially 1-0. The first one I lost, but it didn't count because I ended up restarting. Yeah, Adrian, that's certainly possible. I think a lot of people do that, swinging early in counts, Diamond Dynasty, things like that. Let's check. This is a good game to check. There's a lot of scoring, a lot of different things going on, but let's see how it all balanced out. So I'm pulling up my batting average ball and play calculator, courtesy of CaptainCalculator.com. A little plug for them. And let's do Cleveland here first. It's 39 at bats. 2 home runs. 10 hits. 12 strikeouts. So they had just a 216 batting average ball in play. Again, those home runs, most of what they're hitting around the yard were hit into outs. Just the ones they did hit out, or they did hit well, were home runs. Just the 1 double play. So let's see about the Tigers here. 33 at bats, 7 hits, no home runs, so ours should be a little higher. But we only had 5 strikeouts. We had 2 sac flies. Ours was 233, so both were pretty low. But that happens. The other games it's funny, the other 2 games, I think one of the 2 teams was exactly at 300. It was wild. But, yeah, that looks, again, just for its high scoring, it did go 10 innings. So we had an extra inning there, an extra 12% of the game or so. Look, strikes were pretty good today. 63%, 56 first pitch. That's pretty darn good for a number 3 starter. Cleveland 59. Threw a lot of first pitch strikes today. That's okay. Some of those were just bad swings. Let's see. Cleveland fouled off 24%. That's a ton. Tigers are 16. That's right on. They also swung and missed a lot. So, and actually they didn't. Only 20. So again, just right where you want to be, about 21% there. And we were at 25%. So again, lining up really, really well. Tigers are 3-0 though, so that's super exciting. Again, I'm going to be streaming on just like this, right? Just kind of 1 game per night, Wednesdays and Sundays. So the next one's going to be Sunday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. If that time changes, I'll let you know, but definitely check Twitter and check YouTube for notifications on that. I'm going to jump over to the Operation Sports Slider thread really quick, make 2 quick updates, which is just going to be the manager hook going up when they go to the bullpen. We're going to put that back to 8, and then I just want to let people know they can turn off that if you're using auto fielding, you might as well turn off that wall ribbon thing because it just kind of looks ugly when you're on auto fielding. But other than that, there's no reason, there's no new addition or anything. Those are changes that they won't even impact the 1.0 at all because that one's already set at 8. So, but I think that's going to do it. Let's see, I'm just checking comments again here. Adrian, that's a good point. You know, if you ignore, sometimes I do. If I'm trying to go for the strikeout, maybe that's a good rule. Is on be a little more confident in making your own calls when there's 2 strikes. Let's see what else is in the chat here. Yeah, there's an argument for classic pitching be more balanced. It really has to do with how well you use the meter or how bad you use the meter. Oh, see, I would have thought the opposite from what ITW said or LTW, because I thought I think people miss the meter a lot and it may impact effectiveness of the pitch. Well, anyway, again, you can follow me on Twitter, MikeLowe47. Make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel. We're trying to get our subscription over there transferred from my old personal YouTube. So, again, please subscribe to that. That helps us out a lot. And check out simsportsgaming.com. We have a bunch of different leagues, even people just, again, sharing just kind of their own, personal dynasty reports and things like that. So, yeah, check us out. If there is an online league for any sport game, I guarantee you I wouldn't guarantee it, I guess. But we have a league for almost every sport game out there that's up and running, even going back to like NCAA football, things like that. So, anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. The Tigers are 3-0. The next time you see them will be Sunday evening. Let's take a look here ahead at the schedule because I can show you what game you'd be looking at. So that would probably be, what is today? Today's Wednesday, so that'd be my Thursday game. Oh, and what do you know? It'll probably be Cleveland again. It'll be the home start of the home series here against Cleveland. Because Thursday, Friday, Saturday, I'll probably play those. So, yeah, heading home. The Tigers will be heading home versus the Royals here. So, but anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. I will see you next time. And again, please subscribe if you haven't already. That's it. Have a great night.